Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Mutant Mayhem. A cute little animated movie about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
These turtles that
in a different way. They're not like strange adults named teenagers. They're not men in rubber suits. They're just kids.
They made a good point. I know you were like getting the drinks or whatever before it started, but I didn't realize Seth Rogen made this movie. He was like, yeah, they're called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like they're never really teenagers. So let's like make them that. And
100%. They're always just like dudes, adults.
Which was really cool to kind of see them bounce off of each other a bit more like this, because they were like this in the live action ones, which they referenced with the Vanilla Ice song in the movie.
Yeah.
But they weren't quite as goofy as this. The only problem I have with that is that Mikey's the goofy one, but because they were so goofy, he just kind of was there, so he didn't have much of a personality because he was always the weird one, and since they were all weird, he was just generic.
Yes.
But the rest of them were phenomenal.
They were perfect. I think the cast was perfect. I think the animation was great. I think it feels really strange saying Ice Cube is your villain in 2023.
He had
but it worked.
He had a balding fro as his haircut.
He did.
Which was a weird choice.
For a fly?
Yeah.
Jackie Chan is Splinter?
Yeah, which didn't sound like Jackie Chan for half of it. I know I mentioned this to you after we were watching it, but the girl who played April is from The Bear. And I figured out after watching it, and going home and Googling her again, why I realized that I recognize her so much. And like for you, those of you who don't know, I do not like her in The Bear. Her character is annoying to me.
I have no idea who she is.
A lot of that show was stressful and everything, but I realized why she was annoying me in this. This is not motion capture. This is not whatever. But they somehow managed to animate her face exactly how she does things. And that's why it was bothering me, because I was just seeing her.
Yeah.
And it was really weird.
I'm nervous for this movie. We are recording this on a Tuesday.
Yes.
We saw this movie on Monday night.
Yes.
Wednesday is the like early, oh my god, it's a fan event thing.
Yeah.
We saw this on a fucking Monday.
Is there anything else coming out this Thursday that maybe have taken up that
The
slot?
Meg.
And that's got a big fig Brett. That was a sentence. Those were words.
I'm nervous for this movie because this feels like another one of those movies that's really great, but people just don't care about the Ninja Turtles enough, so it's gonna bomb.
It's got the same problem where like, stop remaking things, make new shit. Like,
but you remake it if it's good. Don't give me Zoe 102 if Zoe 101 was mediocre to begin with.
Take that back.
And now Zoe 102 sucks. Give me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but give me them as teenagers. Make it good and make it fun. And the best part that nobody's talking about, the runtime. An hour 39. Yeah. No fucking filler. They're just like, here are the turtles.
This is what's happening.
Here's the story.
What's going on.
Here's what's going on.
The animation was cool as shit. Also, I love so much how when they're like, yeah, we feel badass, they drew them like the real turtles with no pupils or anything, but then the moment they went back to Goofy, they got the pupils. And I was like, that was a cool effect.
It's my childhood.
And I'm like, oh, they did this so well.
I was like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they're adults now.
The only thing I was disappointed in genuinely was that I was expecting like a Marvel kind of like end credit scene where like Splinter shows up, and I didn't get that.
No.
But on the other hand, it is kind of nice that you didn't get the same story with the same like Shredder fucking thing.
That's
but at the same time, like, I kind of expect that, and I want it. Like, I give me Shredder.
Like Transformers, they were like, "Oh man, it's the Predacons," and we're like, "But where's Megatron?" They're like, "But you saw Megatron for 6 fucking Michael Bay movies."
I want to see Megatron again.
I want to see Megatron
I want to do this for 50 more years.
Let's do this. In this one, they're like, "No, Shredder's not here." We're like, "Why?" Michael Bay gave him to us, and he was just a dude with like 25 knives. Give us an accurate Shredder.
Who's a better Shredder?
Who?
Dude from the Wolverine.
He was
a pretty good Shredder.
Was a pretty good Shredder in the wrong movie. The entirely wrong fucking movie. I think it's so funny that this movie was so much better than Secret Invasion, but we have so much less to say about it.
Because it was so much shorter, but like I went in going, you're like, we're going to see Ninja Turtles. I'm like, what? Why?
Okay. Why does this movie exist?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to see this at all.
Bro, and can I tell you, look, I love Barbie. Good. I think Barbie's a great movie. I think Oppenheimer was great. I am to the point now where cinema's back, whatever. I'm tired of people every time that we want to go to the movies, everybody's fucking seeing Barbie. The concession stands are too long. The lines are so bad.
The door. We went on Monday.
Everybody's still wearing pink. It was a Monday at like 7 p.m.
It's gonna be
Why the fuck was the line out the door to scan your tickets?
Because it's a canon event.
Stop. I think my favorite part about this movie, I think the only gripe that I had with this movie actually was the soundtrack. It made no sense. There were jokes about TikTok and social media and other things.
It was all 90s because it was.
But then it was all 90s
because it was in like Manhattan, but it was all like grungy, kind of like the 90s films.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't fucking care.
No, this one they said the Bronx. I thought the same thing, but they're like, nah, man, it's the Bronx, and I'm like, man, okay.
Still don't care. Okay, why does every movie have to be like, nah, we got to go to New York, go to Oklahoma?
You can't. Sylvester Stallone's there.
That's
doing
right.
the Tulsa King. You can't have the mob in the movie, then it's gonna go all weird. That would be a weird twist. That's where No, that was New Mexico.
Different. The best part of the movie was the fact that they casted younger people to play the younger characters.
The best part was Paul Rudd.
Bruh. Bruh. No, I stand by the fact that the turtles just being like, dude, oh my god. I thought that was fucking adorable.
One of them, I'm pretty sure, was the kid from, honestly, it was called Bad Boys, where it was also the Seth Rogen movie where they were children and there was like cursing and everything, and he was in the Mighty Ducks TV show, and he grew up now, so his like voice is like a little bit deeper, so it was hard to tell which one was him, but I'm pretty sure one of them was.
Post Malone was in this movie?
No, he wasn't. Who was he?
Ray Fillet.
One that sings.
That's
funny.
That makes sense.
That's pretty good.
I'm fine with this. Paul Rudd, Mondo Gecko.
He was phenomenal. He was funny as shit.
Seth Rogen and fucking John Cena had so much chemistry as Bebop and Rocksteady.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They were good as the characters. They had one sentence together.
No, it was the whole thing.
But there was no chemistry because they weren't interacting. They were just good as themselves.
I'm angry. I'm angry too now. I think this couch would go better over here. I thought that was great. Giancarlo Esposito in the opening.
For like 5 seconds?
30 seconds. I'm just him being like, nobody liked me either. I was like, oh, Gus, what's the matter, Gus? Nobody liked me. I'm going to make you so people can like you, so people can also like me. My name's Gus.
I'm going to make something that people will like. Let me choose a fly.
Let me choose a fly and make it the size of a baby so I can treat it like a baby. And then when people come to kill me, it murders everybody.
Why was everything else just kind of regular size and it was a buff man of a fly that had pecs and shit?
With a claw?
Yeah, and then he became the whale, which also, what? And he's like, I got a claw. I'm like, you had a claw before, man.
No, he had a narwhal. One arm was the claw, the other one was a narwhal. Did you notice that a
narwhal?
He was made up of animals.
He's a marine animal.
He was made up of animals.
The original fly had a claw.
Yeah.
And then he grew up and then still had a claw. And he went, man, I got a claw. And I'm like, you always had a claw.
No, but he was a little baby. That's the thing that I didn't like. He was a little baby. You were like, oh, look, a fly. He got 6 legs. Look how cute he is. And then he grows up. He's like, man, he's just like this too. He's like, man, look at me with my claw. And then he got the 2 little arms too. He's punching the shit out of Donatello.
That was funny.
It's like, stop hitting yourself.
Hannibal Buress had like 4 lines, was great.
What the fuck character did he play?
Was the deep voiced frog that like they were like, oh my god, he's so adorable. He's like, yo.
Oh, the little one.
Yeah.
Don't patronize me.
The only one I didn't like was actually Rose Byrne as Leatherhead the crocodile because it just seemed like it did not fit.
Yeah.
It was like every time she said something, I'm like, what's going on?
Post Malone was great.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was her.
Oh, what about the one that only spoke gibberish?
Mr. Beast was in this movie.
Was he really?
He was just Times Square guy. I think he's the one who helped Splinter at the end of the movie. That's a weird choice.
Crazy how worlds collide like that.
We left the theater, and you said that was the first 10 you saw this year. Do you still think that?
How
do you feel about the new Ninja Turtles movie? You nodding? I think he likes it.
Gives me Raphael vibes.
But we're not the big podcast.
Because we like animals? You want me to pick up a guinea pig while we're at it?
because we let the turtle speak into the mic, but the turtle can't speak. And we're just sitting there just like, what is he going to do?
We're both like,
this is such riveting content.
What did you think of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Quite startled about how good it was.
Dumbfounded, actually. So the worst thing about this is that there's not going to be a sequel because it's going to bomb. What's the budget? $70 million.
On how much did it make?
It's really not out yet. Let's see what the projections are. Domestic range 145, which is
1,000 or million? So they're already in the...
No. That's total domestic range. So international, if it can make
300,
right, if it can break 300, no, if it can break 140, it's in.
If it can break 70, it's in the plus. Well, then you got marketing.
Marketing, exactly. Marketing, you typically want to say it's double your production budget just for the sake of crunching numbers.
Yeah.
So if it can break 145, means it's a very small success. that's not enough to warrant a sequel.
Yeah.
If it can break the projections, we're greenlit.
Yeah.
But this is also only domestic. If international, it can break 300-400.
There was something else we saw recently that I thought wasn't going to make enough to get a sequel, and it just got greenlit, and I can't think of what the hell it was.
That we saw?
Yeah.
Was it Transformers? Because Transformers kind of bombed. Low-key.
No, something like lower.
Lower?
Yeah, like lower in like budget, lower in popularity.
65, Cocaine Bear.
Oh, Renfield. Renfield's getting a sequel.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think
Fuck
so.
yeah, dude. That movie was great. I thought it bombed.
That's what I was saying. But I think they said it was in works to get another one. Look at it. Like, what was the budget? All you had to do was fucking put Nick Cage on wires.
TMNT is great. I hope there's a sequel.
Yeah.
If it makes money.
It should. It's a kid's film. It's PG,
but there's
right?
also,
Yeah,
everybody's
PG.
just going to go fucking see Barbie.
Yeah, but then once everybody dies down on Barbie, like a whole bunch of like boys aren't really going to see that as much anyway.
Are you sure?
I mean, they are, but like not in like.
I'm kid enough.
I think a bunch of the younger boys who are like young enough to be like, because like Barbie's also PG-13. So this is PG film. Yeah. So especially you get that younger generation. Like, I don't want to go see Barbie. I want to see the Ninja Turtles.
Barbie's
movie.
for girls. I want to see the action green guys.
So like, I think it'll still do fine.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.